Welcome to another video.
So I'm here in the best place in the world to fix your broken or damaged laptop or computer or just about anything computer related. But before we get into it, let's go find out why I'm here in the first place. Okay, so let's talk computers for a minute here. This over here behind me is my main setup, and that's where I do all my editing. It's basically a computer that I built myself. It's, you know, an i7, it's got enough RAM, it's got all that kind of thing, enough storage, and it's pretty good for editing. And that's where I do all my 4K Serpents a Day videos, because I'm sure you've noticed, barring this video, because I'm just using my old vlogging cam for this one, I'm now pretty much 4K all the time, and you need a hell of a lot of processing power to actually edit that stuff. So that's where I do most of my editing, in this little corner in my tiny little apartment here. So a couple of years ago I bought this laptop, and the reason I bought this laptop was I was in sort of a transition period. I was spending a lot of time at my house, and I was spending a lot of time at my girlfriend, who is now my wife's house, and I needed something to edit on the go when I couldn't be near my desktop machine. So I bought a fairly okay laptop. I didn't think I would need it for serious editing. I thought it would just be kind of a casual thing, and now of course it's not doing the job that I needed to do, because now I'm doing 4K editing, I'm doing drone editing when I go up on Monday and Tuesday to do the Churchill videos with Sea Milk. So I need something powerful for on the go. Okay, so now the biggest problem with this laptop, besides the fact it's only got an i5 processor, which is really bad if you're doing editing, as we all know, is that it actually has a touch screen. Now, I know I thought I was being smart getting a touch screen, I thought it'd be cool, but I never use it. It's a waste of time, and as a result of having a touch screen, the color on the screen is really bad, and also the resolution is bad too. And it seems to be that if you want a touch screen, the resolution usually takes a bit of a hit. So not the best choice, but you know, hindsight 2020, all that nonsense. So this thing is no longer doing the job I needed to do. I need something more powerful for on the go. So about a week ago I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said that he had destroyed his MacBook Pro and he was going to throw it away. I said, hang on a second, let me take a look at that for you and see if I can fix it. He said, well, you can just have it. So he gave me this absolutely, utterly destroyed. He'd already taken it apart to see if he could salvage anything from it. So it was trashed. Basically, it was bent, looked like a banana. The screen was shattered. The hard drive was missing, one of the cooling fans was missing, the motherboard looked like, well, he'd taken the heat sinks off and everything. It was a complete mess. And in bits, so he basically gave me a bag full of bits and loose screws and things. So I spent like a good evening working on the thing, put it all back together. I went into the place I'm actually going to take you to today, and I got the replacement parts I needed, which is a new screen. I got a whole new screen. I got a replacement hard drive, and I got a new cooling fan, and I got all the screws that were missing, and I put it all back together, and it worked, and it seemed fine. Anyway, let's take a look at it, and I'm going to explain to you what's actually wrong. Okay, so what this is it's basically a mid-2012 MacBook Pro. Hang on, give me a second. There we go. MacBook Pro Retina. Okay, if it can focus. And it's got the i7 inside, right? And it's got 16 gigs of RAM, which as far as I know was the best option for this year MacBook. And I thought, well, whatever, you know, it's Apple. I put Premiere on it and I gave it a shot, and I'm not going to lie, I was blown away by the performance. Because this laptop is almost comparable to the desktop that I built as far as editing is concerned. Of course, like, that's pretty much it. But then, coupled with this Retina screen, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, having come from that rubbish touchscreen on the other, you know, on the other laptop to this, I was absolutely blown away. So it seems, as you can see, it looks like it's working fine, but it actually has a big problem. I guess when the thing got damaged, the motherboard got sort of warped or bent. Because if I try to use the GPU, and it works for a short while, and I can see the performance of it is great. It's amazing for doing editing on the go and for when I go up to do Churchill stuff. It's the perfect machine, so that's why I want to repair it. Basically, if you use the GPU, it will very quickly and randomly crash and reboot. If I force it to only use the integrated video card, it actually works. It will keep working for days, no problem. But if I use the GPU, which is what gives it that speed and that power that I need for editing, it crashes all the time. So basically, I know that it could probably be fixed. I know that there's a technique you can use where you reball, resolder, reseat the chip, but that's not always a very good fix. I'm going to go see if it's a possibility to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go and see if I can just get a replacement motherboard. So I'm going to take you to this amazing place here in Shenzhen. Let's stop gabbing on about it. Let's just go, and I'll explain when we're there. So this is Huaqiang Dianzi Shijie, which basically means electronics world. Huaqiang electronics world. Very easy to find. So we just got out of exit A, as you can see over here. That's exit A of the Huajianlu station, Huajiang Road, and we're going to be going into this particular place. There's some escalators off to the left, and we're going to go up to the 3rd floor. So let's go take a look. So I guess when companies have, I don't know, do big major upgrades, they will sell all their old stock to places like this for next to nothing. So you'll get a lot of old point of sales machines, a lot of old sort of business office computers, you know, and here they all get cleaned up. I just wanted to talk about this place a little bit over here. Now what I really like about this place is, you know, usually people, they kind of, something goes wrong with their laptop, doesn't turn on anymore, something wrong with the motherboard, they just toss it, right? But this place you can get everything that you need, like anything at all. If you want to fix your laptop, it doesn't matter what brand it is, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. If you're looking for a, I don't know, just a power supply, you can find them. You know, there are ample supplies of power supplies. Any little niggly cables or connections, anything like that, different kinds of RAM for different kinds of computers and laptops, you know, all sorts of things you can get here. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. Probably about 2 years ago I spilled some champagne over my wife's laptop keyboard, and she had some other Acer laptop. And what I did was I basically came here and I went to just a random shop that had a bunch of bits and pieces lying around, and I said, hey, I need this keyboard. I'd already taken the keyboard out, and the guy didn't have it in his shop, but he's like, just hang on a second. Disappeared for about 10 minutes, came back with a brand new keyboard for me. So, you know, you can really basically get just about anything laptop related, computer related, and of course further on down cell phone related as well, done in this building. So yeah, if you are in Shenzhen, it's a fantastic time to get that piece of old hardware that you thought couldn't be fixed. So I took my faulty MacBook Pro to a shop that specializes in fixing Apple computers. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as I thought. You know, the guy here says that yes, you can do what I thought, you know, reball it, resolder it, but it doesn't last. And he has gone ahead and suggested that I replace the board, but they give you a trade-in for your old board, which is nice. Now, standard practice around here is to label your stuff so that you know that it hasn't been swapped out with a refurbished or, you know, an inferior or knockoff piece. So the technician handed me a permanent marker and asked me to write my name on all of the major components, battery, you know, a mini daughter board, and the Wi-Fi card and the keyboard, all that kind of thing. And it's ended up costing me 2,500 RMB for the replacement, and I have to wait a couple of days because they have to go and order it specially. all in all, not too bad. It's worth it for me because I'm going to be using the machine a lot. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that would probably cost $10,000 at Apple to fix, and they do that on purpose so that you just go and buy a new one rather than repairing your old one. So guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this little look into these very interesting electronic markets here. And of course, this is one of many here in Shenzhen. This place is very specifically for sort of second-hand refurbished computers and bits and pieces, and obviously fixing your broken computers. I will make an update video when I get that laptop back to show you guys, you know, that it's all up and running and that everything worked out. But until then, as always guys, stay awesome.